Mister, why are you way over there? I want you closer, Mr. Kitty. You're supposed to be sitting with me over here. Lisa Fry, the Catholic unschooler, homeschooler, all around schooler. What are we doing today? Well, we are reading. We are spending time with God. That's what we're doing. And when I do that, I pray and I ask God to please fly unto me and, just be with me. And I like to read a bunch of holy books. This one is not a holy book, but it is about homeschooling. And you might say, what does that have to do with anything about what I'm talking about? It's called The Well-Trained Mind. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes, it's all about homeschooling and the right outlook on it. So I'll just spend a little time in there. And I've been reading this, The Joy and Suffering by Saint Therese. This has helped me so much, and I need to share it with you because it's all about why we suffer. Like, what is the point? Like, God has, he's not just sitting there going, ha, 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 how does it feel? He's not doing that. There's an actual method, a reason, a purpose. And once we understand that purpose, at least for me, I would think it'd be for everybody. Once we have that understanding, then it's okay. It's like, okay, so you're suffering. So Saint Therese would be like, bring it on. She used to want it, and I think that's like, we might go, oh, but if you think of suffering more like, well, God is with us in suffering, right? If he's with us and he's bringing it on, what is really the way that, how are we supposed to look at that? All right, so there's that, and I love this book too. This is Rules for Discerning the Spirits, and I love this book so much. Saint Ignatius of Loyola. If you have never read this, you should just order it right now, and you should read it really, really slowly, and just take it in, make sure you understand it, put it down, go and think about it, practice it, come back, reread that thing that you just did, make sure you understood it, and just keep doing that until you read the whole thing. Excellent. All right, so then there's that. Then, dun, dun, dun. What is this? Who is that? Who is that? This is Martin Luther. The Lutherans, the Protestant faith. This is, I have a map I want to show you too eventually. I don't want to get up now. But I have a map that tells about all the different Protestant sects that left the Catholic faith 1,500 years later, after Jesus already established his church, the Catholic Church. So this tells you all about him and where he was at in his life and his upbringing and how he left the church and started Protestantism. Then we've got, oh, ho, 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 ho. Yeah, I like to read all of these. I try to get to each one, when I'm sitting here like this. This is a great book. And this is the diary. This is someone's diary, and it wasn't meant to be private, so that I know of. Excellent, very relatable, and I love it. And I actually started my own little, what is it called? Playlist on my channel about my audiobooks. How exciting, Catholic audiobooks. And I already did one reading. Now I got to make another video for that. And this is the office. It's called Little Office of the Blessed Virgin Mary. I should start it today. This is Lent, so I really got to get this in. So we're going to do that. And then, of course, the one, the only Bible. Oh. Did you know that not all Bibles are created equal? Oh, no. Yes, so the Catholic Church is the one that chose all of the smaller books and put it into one book. It didn't just fall from the sky and it was already together. No, the Catholic Church, this was their genius idea. Isn't that great? And actually, the Protestants came along and interpreted it to their mindset and also took out, I think it was 7 books. out of here. One of them being called wisdom. And so I'm going to read all these delicious books because you know why, guys? I'm telling you right now, during Lent, there's the Mista. During Lent, I need, I plan on taking this with me as long as I can. You got to carve out time, right? So, maybe you can't do, your schedule is not my schedule, right? Right now, I'm blessed enough that I don't have to go out to a job. I'm still with my kids after my husband passed away. And I get to sit here, and this is my chunk of time in the morning. After the morning hours, I go do whatever I got to do on all my other projects. And so this is just, Lent is a time to really enforce, and it's like a training. That's what I love about the Catholic Church, is that they train you. They're training you how to get to heaven. Period. It's like, woohoo. And in that, you're living your life, right? And in the living of your life, you're constantly in training. That's why they have different things going on in the different seasons of the year of the Catholic Church. It's wonderful. People are like, well, why do I have to do that? That's all man-made rules. Well, first of all, Jesus Christ gave the Catholic Church that authority. And it's so smart and so wise, okay? Was there ever evil in the church? Yes, but right from the get-go, there was Judas. So, Jesus chose him himself. So there's always going to be evil in the church, but the church itself is perfect. Okay? It has to be. God created it, right? So Mista's listening. There he is. He's listening. And let me get a sip of this here. Top of the morning to you. So the church is all about, let's train the people. Let's get them virtuous. It's like, yes, let's get those vices out because they're no good. That's why often you should go to confession. You should receive Holy Communion, so that way there you are filled with strength, right? That's why you're constantly seeking the Holy Spirit. You want the Blessed Mother. You want all the prayers of the saints. You have this still communion with all those that you love that have passed on. It's like this, it's awesome. So they're the church victorious, right? The people that have passed away, they are the church. Whoever has made it to heaven is the church victorious. Then you have the souls in purgatory, that is the church suffering, right? Because it's still part of heaven, but they have to be purified in order to get to heaven. And then, you die in that state, right? You still believe in God, but you die in that state and you still have maybe a venial sin on your soul. Well, that has to get purified. So get ready for heaven. See? So no matter where you go, you're getting prepared. And then we are the church militant, because why? We are still fighting. Yes, we are. We're fighting this battle. Like my father used to say, if you could move reality to the side and like a curtain, you would see a battle going on for your soul. That's right. So I'm excited. I just thought about how I do have, oh man, I didn't send out, oh, everybody. Oh my gosh. Don't let me forget. You know what? Let's do it in this video. I have 2 of them, I think it is, movies on, is it The Passion? I bought them at, I think, the Restore or Salvation Army or somewhere like that. I have a giveaway. Would you like it? Oh, yes. I want to say either it's Jesus of Nazareth. I don't remember. It's one of those. Yeah, so hey. All right, let's think of something right now. Let's think of something right now for you to see if you would like to participate in this. All right. The question, Mr. Kitty, look at him. I love him. He's my little tiger, man. Are you the mister? You're the mister. Why don't you tell me what your Lent practice is, right? What are you doing for Lent? And then what I'll do is I'll write them down on a piece of paper and I'll pick one out and see which one is the winner. I have two of them, I think. I think I've got two of the movies, so I'll have two winners. But let me hope that I did get the two, you know what I mean? If not, I'll give you the one. So that's the deal, all right? You tell me what it is you're doing for Lent, all right? Now, somebody once thought that, they're not doing anything for Lent, but they are doing the Hallow app. And I had said to them, that is doing something for Lent because you haven't done that before. So that's, you know what I mean? So that's great. So if you would like to enter into this giveaway, let me know what you're doing for Lent, adding or subtracting something from your life. I'll pick a name out of a hat and you will be the winner. Exciting. All right. Let me go read. If I find anything interesting, which is always everything, I'll let you know if there's anything I'd like you to share with you. I told the mister that I would read to him. He likes it when I read him stories, okay? He likes to sleep during them, okay? And it gives more stimulation to their mind. Already, right? So if anybody's ever said, like, what is classical education? It is language intensive, not image focused, okay? It demands that students, this is good for anybody thinking of homeschooling. It demands that students use and understand words, not video images. It is history intensive, providing students with a comprehensive view of human endeavor from beginning until now. That's very important. My father used to say that the more that you know, the less you can be controlled. It trains the mind to analyze and draw conclusions. It demands self-discipline. It produces literate, curious, intelligent students who have a wide range of interests and the ability to follow up on them. Isn't that nice? So this book is The Well-Trained Mind, is a handbook on how to prepare your child to read, write, calculate, think, and understand. Very nice. As I read this, it's really nice because it's telling you how, each section is laid out and how it's going to prepare. And I'm saying, well, I don't have kindergarten children anymore, okay, or even middle school kids. But I'm saying, you know what, my father... He was a mastermind educator, and he always said that he went to, like, say he wanted to learn something new, he would go to the elementary level to learn it. So I'm going to read this. Why, you say? Maybe, I have two kids that are already out of school, but the thing is, when you homeschool, you have the mind of, this is like a forever thing, right? Yeah, so they're responsible and they get to be adults and they get to move on with their lives and be responsible like that. But as a parent, you're always educating, I would think, and, not sitting down like a classroom thing. But that's why I love unschooling so much, because I love both homeschooling and I love unschooling, because when you have a mix of both, then what happens is you're watching your child, and this is for any child. Any child does this automatically. It's like if you just give them space and you're not squashing them so much with all of this work, which I always did. And then, so I lifted it, you know what I mean? I lifted it up they think that unschooling isn't something worthwhile, but what's beautiful about it is they don't understand that when they choose something in their life to work on, that's unschooling. They've chosen something that they would like to do. Now, I might see something in them that they might not, and I might point that out and say, you know what? I've noticed this about you, and you're naturally gifted with it, and you're naturally drawn to it. Why don't you do this, that, and the other thing? And then I try to support them with that, you see? So, like, for instance, my daughter has a podcast. For a long time, I was watching her throughout the years and how she was helping people. And people were naturally drawn to her, and they were naturally drawn to her advice, and it actually helped them. And I was like, why don't you do a podcast? Why don't you make videos? Why don't you do something where you're online and you're giving people this help? Now she's got a beautiful podcast. Go check it out. Your Wellness Era. And, and then just my son. My son recently, it's like, where did this talent come from? It was unbelievable. He said during Christmas time, he was playing the piano at his friend's house. His father is a phenomenal Italian player, amazing. And he was starting to mess around with it, my son, and he vocalized it to me. And what did I do? I found a nice keyboard that changes all the sounds and has the drums and whatnot. And I got it for him for Christmas. That's what I mean, right? So it's unschooling. He finds an interest. We're paying attention. And he runs with it. He is already almost ready for like concert material. It's not like happy birthday with like two fingers. No, he's got everything going. He picks the most beautiful, brilliant pieces and and I'm like, how are you doing this? Nobody knew this was inside him at all. And it's beautiful, Or then you got my daughter, Sarah. She's like a genius when it comes to research. It's like she can find anything for really great prices. She's online filling out applications for things on her own. I have nothing to do with it. She'll do the whole thing and then she'll tell me later what she did. And then she goes, Mama, I'm getting a free this or a free that. And I'm like, what? And these are really important things. And she converses with them. One time, Taco, was it? No. It was Little Caesar Pizza. They ripped her off by taking her card money. And they were like, oh, sorry, it didn't go through. Or, no, she realized they took too much. They took too much money off her Visa card, whatever it was there, that the hospital gave her. Every time she has a spinal tap, she gets free. They give her a little card with money on it. And so she went and got pizza. They took all of the money off of it. And so she, on her own, figured a way to reach out to the owner. And he totally gave her free pizza after that. Not free, but you know what I mean? And, at one point she needed a wig because she's receiving chemo treatments, and she conversed with, do you remember Raquel Welch? She was a famous actress in the 60s and 70s. She reached out to her company, not knowing she was, popular like that. And she got a whole wig, beautiful thing for free. It was awesome. So, she has these talents. All my children, they have all these beautiful talents, and there's so much more. And I just love being able to give them that space and that time and saying, whatever you want to do. It's whatever you want to do, You show them the way. You show them the different things that are possible out there, and you just guide them and help them out. And then you never know where it's going to lead them. And don't panic, oh my gosh, what is my child going to do for a living and all this here. They're already doing it. They're already finding their way. So they might not go to school. They might not go to college to do all this, that, and the other thing. It's okay. That's not the only way. It's not. And so we just wait and see. The most important thing is to find out what God has in store for them. What does God want them to do? More than what do you want to do? What does God have for you to do on this planet? Why do you exist? What is his plan for you? What does he want your hands and feet and your mind and to do for him? What is it? And that's the secret, is what is it that you were planned to do? So when they say, I don't know, I say, you need to go in front of God and you need to pray about that. And you need to ask him, what do you want me to do, Lord? So exciting. Oh, isn't that nice? The sun is coming through this beautiful window right here. It's so pretty. It's like my little light. Thank you, God. Didn't I just say this to you about my father? It's saying here, even if you're starting with an older child, though, you should read through the earlier sections so that you understand the basic principles of classical education. Each section includes a grade-by-grade summary so that you can see at a glance what each school year should include. Love it. I'm sifting through the book, and it was talking about, one of the chapters is called Getting Ready for College. And I'm like, okay, I went to college too, and I loved it. It was so fun. I never finished because I got married and had a baby. even when I was pregnant, I couldn't study and feel like I wanted to vomit at the same time. So I just put it on hold and I never went back. I had my beautiful family, and that was more important to me. It was like, wow, I got to have my beautiful family with the man that I loved. And I got to raise my children and homeschool them, and it was like a dream, you know? So to me, I didn't even go to high school. Did you know that? I never went a day to high school. 8th grade was all I did, and then I got on the dean's list in college. I worked in a high school as a substitute teacher. How is that possible? And now I'm a life coach. How is that even possible? How? Because you have to follow what it is. Like my son used to say to me, yeah, but you only ever worked in a nursing home. And I was like, Seth, I wanted to work in a nursing home. I loved working in a nursing home. That's what I mean. It's like if you can make ends meet and you can do what you love, then that's the secret. It's like do what you love as long as you can get by and pay your bills and save and all of that. And I'm just like, you know what? Do what you love. You know, do we forget about that? You know, and not everything. I didn't go to school and spend hundreds. I got financial aid. I think I spent $500 during a summer course. But other than that, I don't have any debt over my head. And, I'm just waiting to pay my house off now. And that's it. And I'm telling you, as long as you go to heaven and you know how to make it through on this earth without struggling, and you're doing what you were made to do because you're supposed to love it. You're supposed to love what you do. See? I'm reading this here, and, I've decided to set my alarm for 6:19, which is when the sun is going to come up, because I want to give God my full, the first fruits. That's the thing that hits me, is the first fruits of the day. And I can go back to sleep or whatever, but I was just talking to my son, and he called me on FaceTime, and I'm looking at him and everybody, he's working at Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm so proud of him because when everybody else is leaving that place, he's staying, even if it's hard, because it's really fast paced. It's so fast paced and it's not worth the money, right? And right now he needs to work there until other things happen in his life. And so to get where he needs to go someday. But in the meantime, I'm so proud of him. And I was like, it made me think of Steven. Because I was like, you know what? You didn't get a lot of sleep and you don't feel good. I said to my son, and I'm like, but you're still there. You still went, And when everybody's coming and going and leaving all the time, and you're still staying, you're hitting your goals. You're doing what it is you want to do to get to where you need to be. And same thing with my daughter. And I'm so proud of them. And then it made me think of Steven. And I miss him. I was just asking God, like, Lord, please fill me and the children with Steven. Because we miss him so much. And the only word I can say is I miss him. It's like ferociously. I miss him ferociously. It's like with a roar. It's like this roar. I just miss him so much. And I just need the Lord to fill us with his heart. Because that, I was saying, like, that's what Daddy would have done. He would have went to work regardless of anything. And then so Seth goes, I need the money. And I said, that's exactly right. And it's like, you still did it though. You could make your life fall apart, and that you didn't. And that he just reminded me so much of my husband, because my husband could have had the flu. Not to say that it's good to spread it, but he would go to work that sick, because he just was a hardworking guy. And he said, he used to always say to me, Lisa, we'll do all the resting when we're dead. And so I'm just so proud of my children. I just can't even say like how proud I am. And I miss Steven ferociously. Like I just feel Like, I miss him so much. And it's okay because it's God's will, but it's just amazing that somebody that you love can be gone from you like that. But I have to look at it like I'm looking forward to seeing him again. I'm just getting every day that goes by. I'm 5 years that I will never have to wait again. I'm that much closer to seeing him again. And I was thinking last night, I went out with a friend to meet with her, and I'm looking around at the place that we were at, and I'm looking at all the people, and I'm like, you know what? If I never end up with anybody ever again, I am completely satisfied, because like his love, like to know that I even had that beautiful human being into my life. Like, God is so good to me. That I'm going to be okay. Yes, it would be nice to be loved again, and I believe that God has this prayer that he wants me to do for this particular person to come into my life whenever God is ready. But my point is that even if he didn't want it that way, I am satisfied. And that's what I think is giving me confidence and peace, is knowing what I've already had.